Good morning. Hello, hello. We're back. Back once again. Pablo is the first one here? What? That's crazy. Good morning, Pablo. Good to see you, sir. Good morning, Got Rock. Good to see you. No sleep for me today. Oh, I wonder. That was actually the question I was just getting ready to ask you, was if you had gotten up early or if you had stayed up late. That's really funny. Okay. Well, I guess you need to be headed to bed here in a little bit. Probably should thinking about shutting it down here in a little while. Good morning, Rampla. I'll sleep on the afternoon. Dude, that's rough, man. What have you been working on? Are you been playing video games or what? Good morning, Omanian. Good to see you. Yeah, that's wild, man. All right. Well, hell yeah, that's an awesome reason to stay up late. Working on personal stuff. I love it. At least it's not work. Good morning, Inspire. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being a member. Appreciate you. What are we gonna do today? I think we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Work on that physical OS app. I've been trying to get to a place where I'm actually ingesting transactions. Um, I didn't work on this at all yesterday after stream, so I think I'll just keep powering on with this. The only other thing I've thought about doing recently that's I kind of have a bug in my ear about it is I'd like to build a custom integration for Aspire that adds a local convex instance to your as a resource. But I also sort of am suspicious of that desire that it's just a way for me to procrastinate from making progress on projects that I've already started. uh, oh, whoops! I should probably update that. Sorry, Omani. Thanks for reminding me. Let's see. We are going to spend the morning drinking coffee, talking shit about AI, and trying to make some progress on some side projects. There you go. I updated it. Pablo, it's a library for a 2D game engine. I implemented some of Flexbox and UI stuff like events and whatnot. Oh, very cool. 2D game engine. I love it. Good morning, Oblivion. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, let me go blow my nose real quick. There we go. Flexbox is super complex. Yeah. Uh, like, what do you mean? What do you mean by complex though? Like, just edge cases and things, or like I've always felt like I really only use Flexbox, or at least the way I use Flexbox is typically almost to like lay out a grid. So I do like flex direction row, flex direction column. Hello, Jay Pedro. Good to see you. Good morning. How you been, mate? I've been good. Yeah, no complaints. Have a lot to do this Saturday morning. Might lurk around. You are more than welcome to lurk around. We encourage lurking. It is very much highly encouraged. Oh, internally, like how it computes the sizes of the boxes based on control. Oh, okay, yeah. I've never dug into that at all. Yeah. I just consume it. I take what the smart people have built and say thank you very much. Lurk away, lurk away. Lurking activated. I literally implemented it from scratch, not up to spec, but should be good enough. Oh wow. Why did you have to implement it from scratch just for the because you needed particular like you needed a very specific level of control in your game engine? Public. Good morning, AG Daniello. How's it going? It's going good. Or AG Daniel 10. I don't know how I got Daniello out of there. AG Daniel 10. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. It's on Lua. People don't really like consuming C libraries, and most layout libraries are kind of hard to compile. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, this is like a whole thing. Okay. Very impressive. Mayurk 8697. Hello. Hello to you too. Hope you're having a good morning. Okay, so we have user. Let's also add an account. Let's see, will your application allow for correcting transactions by adding new ones or just updating them? No, I don't think my application will support really adding transactions. Like for the most part, I really want the bank accounts to be the systems of record, and my application just ingests that data. Um, I mean, I guess as I get using it, I might find places where it makes sense for me to do that, and I might add that as a feature maybe after the fact. But I think to start with, the only piece of data that my application will really allow me to add to at least the transactions is going to be just a category. So that'll probably be the only thing that my application really layers over the top of this data is just categorization so I can visualize it. That's about it. I'm literally writing a DOM-ish and CSS-ish library. Nice. And you're doing it all in Lua? Very interesting. Swamp, dumb question time. What makes a competent junior dev? If you're not AI, double tap the screen. I can't. I can't. I can't. That's as close as I. Oh, you mean? Are you talking to other people? Maybe you're talking to the other folk. Let's see. Dumb question. What makes a competent junior dev? I honestly don't have good, super great advice because I haven't worked with a ton of juniors myself. Pablo might be able to speak to this one a little better. I guess if I was working as a junior dev and I wanted to be viewed as competent, I think the things I would aim for would be like great communicator, organized, um, dogged in his pursuit of solving problems, uh, willingness to learn, things like that. I think that's what I would focus on. Like try to take care of some of those professional kind of like it's low level fruit, but so few people do it that it really sets you apart. And then hopefully that will ingratiate you to your team, and people will be willing to kind of help level you up on the technical side of the house. Got rock. Oh, I see. I got it. Thanks. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, happy to answer any questions. Morning 060X187. Good morning. Hey, Eric, how to get out of this learning loop in Java and SQL? It's damn hard to get job in these days with little knowledge I have. Let's see. You're stuck in a learning loop. I guess start building things on your own with Java. Maybe you just need to step away from tutorials and courses and start trying to actually put some of your existing knowledge to use in a new context. Java's though a very highly employable language, so maybe it's just a numbers game. You need to spend a little bit more time applying and following up and trying to see if you can't land a job. Tap tap. Yep. Can you be my C sharp mentor? I don't think I'm qualified to be anybody's mentor, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have about C sharp to the best of my ability. AG Daniel, what language is this? Secondly, the pleasure of sitting for long hours and just solving problems is something I really love, hence my mastery. Do you think AI will take that away? This language is C sharp, so what I'm writing on the screen right now is C sharp, but this application has a C sharp backend and then a TypeScript front end. As far as the enjoyment of sitting for long hours and solving problems, I feel you there, man. That's what I love doing. I enjoy doing that as well. And as far as do you think AI will take that away? I mean, it's entirely possible that AI changes what it looks like professionally, right? But nobody can take away that enjoyment that you get from doing that activity, right? And you're a human being who will have free will, so if that's how you want to spend your free time, you can most definitely spend your time doing that, you know? I mean, to some extent, when it comes to your professional life, you're kind of at the will of like what your employer allows. Like where I work, there's no real pressure to like be AI native, which is nice. But I understand some people work at companies that have huge investments in these AI technologies, have bought tens of thousands of licenses to Cursor and ChatGPT and the like, and so I get it. It's tough out there. Let's see. Junior dev must communicate clearly what they don't understand in the progress. Show interest. I like that. See, yeah, that's kind of similar to what I said. There should be progress that can be measured. If you are struggling with the same shit after a few months, that's no good. Yeah, that makes sense. And I wouldn't want to be known as that person. But you can talk that with your managers if you're afraid you're not performing. Yeah, ask for feedback, 100%. Don't just hide out and hope you're doing okay. Like seek out feedback and criticism, which is hard. I mean, that's hard to do, but important skill. Use of, hey man, I know, how would you cope with knowing multiple languages and don't confuse them? I know many and it got confusing to me sometimes. I feel scared to go interviews for that reason. I think whenever you're kind of a polyglot, which I think most days all of us have to be a polyglot to some extent, especially if you're in like the web dev universe or building things on the web. Uh, I mean, I confuse things all the time too. If I spend a bunch of time writing C sharp and then I turn over and try to write TypeScript, some of my I mess up. I mean, I think that's kind of okay. Like you just correct yourself. You just stop and say, "Oh, whoops, sorry. I've been writing a lot of C sharp. Let me get in the TypeScript mode." Or I've been writing a lot of Go. Let me get in the C sharp mode. You know. Pablo, I get zero meaningful feedback from my managers as they are non-technical. Well, that's kind of a rough position to be in. The senior dev who's technical says I'm crushing it, but then I get bad scores on performance reviews. I don't have much advice there, man. That sounds just like you've got a bad work situation. Satyajit, do you think at one point this AI becomes economically not viable? Well, I definitely think the cost of AI is subsidized. Like, I definitely think there's a lot of cost right now of AI or inference at least that's being subsidized because the bet is that they can continue raising money, um, and that eventually we will, as a society, will figure out the power problem, and then that this won't be an issue. This compute constraint won't be an issue. But I'm not so bullish myself. Uh, so I think it's totally on the table that the next time we have a big economic um, the next time we have big economic turmoil in the US, I think it's entirely plausible that you see the cost of inference increase significantly. Oblivion, I finished a first stage to a project, the package manager. Would you be willing to look at it and provide opinions? Me shooting my feedback shot? Of course, yeah. I'd be happy to look at it. If you just want to post it in that projects channel, I'd be happy. Or send it, you can send it to me in a DM if you want, and I'd be happy to look at it. I've never built a package manager before, so my feedback might not be very helpful, but I would be very interested to look at it. Good morning, Duck Boy. Good morning, Suhas. That's your manager's job, literally. Yeah. Some managers, they're much more in it for them than they are for taking care of the people that work for them. Yusuf, I currently started posting on LinkedIn. What are your top recommendations for improving visibility and chance of getting hired? Would you be able to give me quick feedback if I send the LinkedIn name? For sure. You can send your LinkedIn name in Discord, and I'm happy to look at it. I'm not like a LinkedIn expert. I don't have a big following over there at all either, so I don't really have much advice. LinkedIn's a really weird place right now. It's very much just a bunch of AI generated posts, and a lot of self congratulatory stuff amongst colleagues, and yeah, it's just weird. But yet, that's where we've all decided we're going to hang out professionally. So I don't know. It's a strange place, but I would be happy. I'm more than happy to look at what you're posting, but I don't know if I'm really qualified to like advise you right on how to grow a LinkedIn following because I've not grown a LinkedIn following. Yes, the infra and other things considered, the ROI does not justify it. It seems to be a tech rat race, not considering that it has to generate real economic gains. Well, yeah, I think the whole plan there is they all think this is a winner take all race, and so long term consequences be damned. They're just trying to be the first one to get there, which means I mean, what was it yesterday? OpenAI announced they raised 50 billion. Can't remember exactly how much it was. I think it was yesterday. I could be making this stuff up, but let's see. I think it's 50. They raised 50 billion from Amazon. Yeah, Amazon will invest 50 billion into OpenAI, and this is just these companies are burning cash at a rate that's astronomical, right? And they have a undying need for additional compute, and so this is just gonna their bet is that they can continue this pace and they can continue this amount of in investment raising and capital allocation to get them to first place, right? Um, and the one thing that could stop them, I think, is just economic turmoil, right? General economic turmoil, something like some event like COVID, where the U.S. economy just gets completely disrupted and the ability to raise capital dries up very quickly. I also think, to your point about like ROI, I mean, at this point, the amount of money that's been, excuse me, the amount of money that's been invested in this space, like, I don't know. I think ChatGPT or OpenAI would have to sell so many ChatGPT subscriptions to so many people to recoup their investment. I just don't think it's plausible at this point. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just my strategy is to stay aware of what's going on in AI, to use it as a tool to serve me best, to navigate what is required by my employer, and continue to invest in the US stock market and to hope that there's a crash so I can buy stocks on sale and then see what comes out the other side of the crash. That's my game plan at the moment. Let's see. Do not mean to sound whiny, just trying to navigate this. Thank you for all your insight. Oh no, you're not. You don't sound whiny, man. I mean, sometimes you just need to work through things. Talk it out with somebody. So always happy to offer feedback here, man. I think Pablo's 100% on it though. I think trying to push your manager on doing their job, you know. And obviously, it takes two to tango, right? So if you come to find out your manager is just not gonna do what you need, then that's when it gets into the territory of needing to talk about, okay, maybe it's time to move on, you know. Steven, can you keep a secret? Help me with an architecture. Zach, thank you very much for the sub. Which lets AI tools scale to 10K plus tools. Current AI can only handle like 50 tools. I probably can't keep a secret, but good luck with your architecture. Good morning, D. Package manager is a little misleading, but it does manage packages. I posted it. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look. Sweetcar, World War start, Israel strict Iran. What? I don't know what you're saying, Sweetcar. World War III can wait. Steven needs more coffee. I do need more coffee. I'm already at the bottom of this cup. Neil Thompson, 171 million in total. B, not M. 171 million what? Swamp. Thank you, Pablo. Appreciate it. Thank you. Of course, yeah. Always happy to give my thoughts. Ultimately, some has to repay that money. Who's going to do it in the subscription? I have no idea, man. I have no idea what their path to profitability looks like. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I think the 50 billion is in AWS cloud credits, i.e., they can use 50 billion of AWS services. Let's see. This just says Amazon will invest 50 billion in OpenAI. They start with initial 15 billion, followed by another 35 billion in the coming months. I mean, what that is, I have no idea. It could be cloud credits. I don't know what else. I don't know what else the money would be spent on besides additional compute. I guess they might need to hire more people. OpenAI to consume 2 gigawatts of Trainium capacity through AWS infrastructure to support demand for stateful runtime environment, frontier, and other advanced workloads. I don't know what half those words meant, but there you go. I wonder if they do something for curing cancer and pollution problem. Yeah, AI is not going to solve the cancer problem. I know that's what a lot of people tout, like AI is going to make all these huge contributions to medical and scientific advancements, and I have yet to see, beyond AlphaFold, I have yet to see any. $80 billion with a B, that's a tenth of a small country GDP. What the fuck? Or 50, yeah, 50 billion is crazy. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to catch up on chat. The SaaSpocalypse is such a dumb market take. It really is. It really is. SaaSpocalypse is an idiotic thing. I'm at a unique place where I see both sides of tech and the business. So these questions, something trailed off. AI is a bubble, yet people believe all SaaS will not be needed because people can use AI to build their own solutions. Yeah, sure. No, that's not going to. We had an argument about this on stream the other day about people who claim that SaaS won't be needed and AI will just dynamically generate UIs on the fly for you. We had an argument about this the other day. Good morning, Reaper's Edge. Good to see you. Good morning, Fly Fisha. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a member. It's been a minute. You should have a one-on-one. Yeah, totally agree. Shogun, your content has captured my shorts algorithm. I'm totally cool with it. Well, that's good. I do apologize if my content is being pushed too aggressively towards you. Do you think there will still be an AI bubble crash? Oh, for sure. There will be a market correction. I mean, that's the way the system works. So there will definitely be a market correction. When and how big, who knows, but there will be one. Neil, using AI, let's see. What are your thoughts about AI taking over? I don't think AI is taking over, in my opinion. I think AI is a very useful tool that allows a lot of people to be way more productive than they used to be. And if you enjoy working with it and want to use it to gain leverage, go for it. But I don't think it's taking over, in my opinion. Using AI or not right now, the bottom line is just keep building, learning, deploying, iterating. I like this. I like this. Pablo, yeah, basically, basically machines with big ass GPUs. Suas, GMO. I don't know what that means, Suas. What about CRISPR? CRISPR wasn't an AI. CRISPR wasn't. CRISPR was developed by Jennifer Doudna. She's a biochemist. AI didn't have anything to do with it. Do you think software developers will be totally out in 10 years? No, I don't. I don't. I think I'll be long retired before software developers are no longer a thing. I'm 32 now. I hope to be retired by 52. I think software developers will still be a thing. Might look different, like their day-to-day job might look different, but they'll still be here. The AI has done a lot for radiology. You mean AI has done a lot for like reading radiology, like helping radiologists interpret and read scans? Is that what you mean? Which to me is not really a medical or scientific breakthrough. That's just like an operational, like that's just an operational thing. Like we need people to be more. We need radiologists to be more productive. We need to realize that AI is nothing more than the data it's trained on. Yeah. Yep. It's just a. I mean, especially large language models. It's just a word calculator, probability machine. OpenAI raised 110 billion in total, 50 billion from Amazon, 730 billion valuation. Woo! I can't even comprehend some of those numbers. Let's see. If SaaS dies, cybersecurity and QA will be through the sky. Yeah, I don't see SaaS dying. Let's see. I work for a super large cybersecurity platform, and its stock is going down because of the SaaS apocalypse. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, build your own. Exactly, exactly. It's not. I mean, I pointed this out the other day. If you go to Anthropic's website, right? This is the people who make Claude Code. They have a page called their Trust Center, right? This is basically amounts to kind of like a static website, basically, right? It's just a place for them to put information about how they uh, adhere to different trust and safety standards. This whole thing is powered by a SaaS product called Vanta. They probably spend tens of thousands of dollars for Vanta as a product. Now, Vanta does more than just this. Like it's kind of it's a platform that allows you to do quite a bit. But again, that's a SaaS, and the people who make Claude Code are spending money on a SaaS. And if SaaS was really dead, why wouldn't they just have Claude Code build this for them? So yeah, the market SaaS apocalypse thing is just dumb. It's just dumb. A lot of manufacturing is aided by video models. I don't know how are you supporting that claim? Because as somebody who used to work in manufacturing, I'm skeptical of that claim, and I haven't seen evidence to support that claim. Will it not come until the next year or two? I don't think anyone knows when the correction will happen, but it'll happen at some point. Shogun, there are beneficial AI use cases, but pretty much none of them are based on generative AI, in my opinion. There's going to be a cognitive decline epidemic within our generation. You mean people are going to get dumber because of AI? I think senior devs love AI, only junior devs are just the ones panicking. Well, of course, senior devs love AI, right? Because they've already reached some level of mastery. And so now they can just focus on doing the fun parts. Which I guess if you don't enjoy actually writing the code, right? Fly Fisher, do you watch the Y Files? I do not. Sure. Hello, sir. I'm from India. I have an idea to do good for community, but I'm not coder or developer. But I know my idea will change the community's struggle. Will you help me in this project? We can be partners. I'm not looking to build anything for anybody else at the moment, sure. But I think you should pursue your idea if you really believe it. You should pursue it. And now with AI, you could at least at the very least vibe code a prototype, then try to get a another developer to help come alongside you. So yes, I was talking about genetically modified organisms and CRISPR, the technology to edit genes. I want a scientist's opinion on it. Yeah, CRISPR's a very cool technology. Yeah, it's very cool technology. Everyone talking about AI taking over, but nobody talking about hardware. Rare earth minerals for robots and motors. China dominates the supply chain. They do dominate in rare earths, don't they? Thing is, please remember that AI in general and LLMs or image or music generation are not all the same. I guess it depends on the architecture, right? The underlying architecture. The market believes that AI people will not pay for SaaS because they can build it themselves. So Nasdaq is going down. Yeah, it's it's stupid. Let's see. I've been working hands-on with deep neural nets recently. I literally cannot discuss it with anyone non-technical without them applying the current LLM stigma to it. Nice, nice. Are you talking about the OpenAI API deal with the DoD? No, we were talking about OpenAI raising money with Anthropic. We kind of, I don't know how we got on that topic, but at some point we were talking about investiture and the size of the capital raises and the ROI, and that made me think of yesterday's announcement. What do you think about the biotech? I think biotech is cool. I don't know. I don't know what else I would say about that. Satya, the irony. Computer vision is in general a really necessary use case of artificial intelligence. I could literally do that with VBA. No AI or SAS required. VBA, the Swiss Army knife of the world. I'm very good in sales and connecting people. I can do all the promotion thing and investments. You will be doing only data thing. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in building anything for anyone else at the moment. But um, I mean, unless you got like a fat paycheck you want to send me, pay me $100,000 and I'll build whatever you want. The median IQ has already dropped a lot, even with just social media. Now it's plummeting because of AI. You guys think that do you guys genuinely feel like you notice people are getting dumber from AI? You were right, man. USA did attack Iran just like you said last stream. Oh, did they really? Did they really? Oh wow, they did. US and Israel conduct strikes on Iran. Oh my goodness. This is like just as breaking right now. Well, yeah. I mean, yesterday what I talked about was more of just like it seems difficult to move that many to spend that much money on a show of force and then not use it, right? The temptation is just so high. Oh wow. That's crazy. I don't want to turn this into a political thing, but that's crazy. Median IQ can't drop because IQ is a median. Oh, that's that's a good, that's kind of a good subtle point about the statistical measure. AI have no use without robots and chips. For robots and chips, you need rare earth minerals right now. Only China mining and refining earth minerals. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the rare earth mineral things, right? That's like a supply chain vulnerability. If everyone builds apps after some super AI, will everyone have zero users? I guess. I mean, that's the ultimate, like, if you take these predictions to their end conclusion, yeah, you sort of end up there where it's like, well, who is using the applications that you're vibe coding all the time and who's spending money on services because they no longer can earn money because the AI does everything? I agree. SaaS probably won't die, especially overnight. I did hear a Twist Pod segment about mid-market and enterprise customers asking for deep 30% discounts on their annual renewals for SFDC and Workday. Yeah, but I think that's just vendors trying to gain leverage. Like the fact that a company would actually go and replace a SaaS piece of tool with their own software is just it's just not realistic. I'm pursuing data science. I'm in the last year. I'm just worried about AI, to be honest. Uh, do you think juniors like me have any chance for entry? I do think so. I do think so. I wouldn't give up, man. I'm optimistic. I really hope that PM build their products, let them understand the complexity of maintaining it. Just be like it works on my machine. Yeah, that was probably the most infuriating thing probably happening right now in the software development life cycle is now you have people who are developing like an inflated sense of their ability to build software because it seems so easy and trivial with some of the tools now they have access to. And so now it's like it's making people think they're an expert or they have um, uh, even are proficient in something that they're probably not. Talk to any current elementary or high school teacher, it's tragic. Oh no. All I see is dumbass everywhere. Good one, Neil. Trump said something like Americans might lose their lives, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Let's see. Any concern about further outsourcing IT jobs? It happened to me at my very first dev job. Sometimes I worry about that, particularly the fact that I work in QA. Sometimes worry about that. But I think the company that I work at and the type of software we build doesn't lend itself really well to outsourced offshore type of work or even outsourced onshore type of work. Um, I, I definitely think that's a threat, though. That's always a threat in any profession is that a company's we used to do this in food where we would co-manufacture products and sometimes yeah we would just we it was more expensive for us to produce it in-house on one of our production lines and so we move it out. I think that's always a business strategy. Shogun, it's a well-researched area, cognitive decline, creative flattening. It's a slow burn issue but it's coming. Oh, interesting. I hadn't heard about this. My take for juniors is that some companies will hire you because you'll be the most senior dev they can hire. That's a Pablo. You think in such an interesting way, man. I love it. Uh, Nowadays, juniors are not available job positions. It's like you need the senior level information to get a job, which isn't a bad thing because you'll be compensated for a senior level position. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I thought you were talking about being laid off, Pablo. not not like I'm a Republican. I just don't like jihadis. That's all. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Will you recommend students to pursue degrees in CS anymore or no? Honest opinion. I think pursuing a degree in any profession these days depends largely on where you're getting the degree from and how much it costs, right? In my opinion, like I have two sons, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And so when I think about their future and them going to college, that's largely what the decision will be based on, or what I will encourage them to make the decision based on is like, where are you going to school and how much does it cost to get that degree? I mean, if you can afford to get a college degree, I think it's a no brainer because it's going to open up, it's going to make it a lot easier to open up doors that otherwise you'd have to fight a lot harder to open. Um, but that's my own personal thoughts on it. You're right. Get a degree, but plan for a pivot within that degree to be flexible. Well, and I mean, everybody that I've interacted over my professional life since I started working in a corporate or non-corporate environment, I meet people all the time and like, what was your degree in? And a lot of times, people's degrees have nothing to do with their current chosen career or job. It's purely just a thing that provides you with access to opportunities that otherwise you'd have to fight a lot harder to get to. Um, it's kind of like a more like a certification than it is meaningful about what jobs are available to you in a lot of cases. Obviously, unless you're going to specialize, like you want to go be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, something that has a very well defined career path. But yeah, I see a lot of times people are working in jobs and fields unrelated to what they studied in school. Is degree worth it? Question one, can you afford it? Question two, does it bring you enough value to justify the money question? Number three, can you achieve the same result without spending a lot of money? I think those are great questions. That sounds like a great framework to make that decision based off of. Neil, curious, what type of food or process did your former employees outsource, and what was in-house limitations to cost savings? I recall meat company and frozen food, egg rolls came to mind. So yeah, so I worked in coated appetizers and pot stickers, and most of the time we were outsourcing or we were co-manufacturing. That's what we called it, co-manufacturing the coated appetizers, and a lot of it had to do with labor cost. I'll just be honest. A lot of it had to do with not so much the raw materials because we would enforce that the co-manufacturer uses the same formula that we use, but they would have cheaper overhead, basically cheaper overhead and labor, which would help push the cost of our products down. That was the and we would move things in and we would move things out. So we would move formulas into co-manufacturers, we would bring things back in, and we would that this was kind of like an ongoing thing where we were basically supplementing our production facilities capacity with other people's capacity, and it's basically just a balancing act because you have a category that's made up of a lot of different products that you manufacture and sell. Some products have higher margins than others, and so you're kind of basically always doing a balancing act of how you can maximize kind of the total category margin by where can we manufacture things that are the cheapest and give us the greatest margin, right? And sometimes that's in our facility, sometimes that's in other facilities. Some products have capabilities that prevent them from being manufactured in certain places. So it's just the as far as like you're not really trying to save on like ingredients or formulation. You're really trying to save on packaging, shipping, logistics, overhead, that type of thing, labor most of the time. Learn to learn, don't learn just to get a specific job. That's the riskier path, in my opinion. Yes. Well, I guess I disagree a little bit because I do think like some of the learning has to be directed at getting a job. I have a SWE CS degree with a background in web dev, but I can pivot to DevOps. Yep, you could do that. For sure, you could do that. Slaves were fed less at the other company. No, no slaves were involved in the making of those food products. I see. Nope. I mean, computer science degree worth any more after AI? Because if someone start college now in computer science, they will graduate in the next 5 years. AI might already be take over. See, I don't believe this. This is just such a doomerous perspective of AI, and I just don't believe it. I don't believe that all of humanity should stop investing into an understanding of computer science or software engineering just because AI exists. Like, and that's not what's happening in the world. Like if AI really was going to take over, we should. Everyone right now who's working in software should just stop. If you're in software and you really do believe that, you should quit your job, change fields, go do something else. But people aren't actually doing that because that's not actually really what's going to happen. So I just I don't see that vision. I don't see that future. That's my favorite thing about BizOps. Literally everything you just said. Thanks, bro. Never change. Oh, well, thanks, Neil. I appreciate that. Today is a very chatty day for Steven. Yeah, chat's here, man, and we're getting after it. It's been a little bit since we've had a chatty day. What are you going to work on today? Well, we were going to work on the physical S project, but I was in the process of working on the transaction model, but we got kind of sidetracked. People also said in 2020 that in the next 5 years AI will take over everything, but it did not. It did not. AI is so dumb. How can you believe it will be smart in a couple months? Well, software engineering's already dead, guys. I don't know if you knew this. Software engineering's been dead for 12 months. So we're all just dead men walking. We have nothing to lose. I do use it a lot, and I'm more productive, but I'm not getting replaced before I retire, and that's like 30 plus years. I feel the same way Pablo does personally, and I know that's kind of selfish of me to only really be concerned with like a 20 or 30-year time horizon, but I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, if someone handed me $1 million tomorrow, I would be like, I don't fucking care. I would retire and be like, I don't fucking care. So, yeah, I feel the same way Pablo does. Good morning, Bob. Only 4 hours of sleep, but I made it. Oh, dude. Well, if you need to get some more sleep, don't feel bad. You can get more sleep if you want. Software engineering hiring is dead. Oh, I see. That's the difference. Okay. All right. It's the hiring part that's dead. Not the discipline. Somehow Dario forgot that word when he was making his prediction. No, it'll die in 6 months. Get your facts right. Yeah. Just give it 6 more months. Steven, is it worth your subscription of Gemini Pro? Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely get $10 worth of value from that every month. Yeah, for sure. I'm planning to buy it. Do you recommend Gemini Pro to me? Yeah, I actually have. I think I have. Suas, I can send you a link for like a free. I think I have like 2 or 3 free, like 4-month free trial subscriptions if you want to try it out. I definitely get my value out of it though. Let me see if I still have those. I had those earlier this year. Let me see if I can find it. And they're really pushing this AI Ultra. $250 a month for AI Ultra. Yeah, I'll send you a link in Discord real quick, okay? That way you can at least try it before you go and spend your money on it. But I think it's worth it. I know other people probably have like preferred products for themselves, but let me do that real quick. 1 sec. How do I don't know how to use Discord. There you go. I just shot you an invite link. If you want to, it's basically a referral link, and I think you get 4 months. Yeah, it's a 4-month trial. So if you want to use it, go for it. Sorry, I fell behind on chat again. Is this the Pablo I've heard so much about? Yes, Pablo is here. Pablo got me out of mini jams during Advent of Code. Legendary Pablo. Yes, Pablo's a mythical figure in chat. If not, then wait for the Trump presidency. I think a lot of people here in the U.S. are just holding on, man. We're just trying to get to 2028. So, what's your actual role? Web, data science, ML? I'm looking for data science and in love with it. Very cool. Yeah, you'll definitely be able, I think, to find some way to apply your data science love. Seems like data science kind of underpins a lot of the stuff in the machine learning space and the AI space. So I think you've chosen a great passion and interest to pursue. My actual role, if you can go to my LinkedIn. If you type !LinkedIn in the chat, you can go and creep on my professional history. But I work in QA for a software company. Any word from Arvin? Israel attacked Iran last night. We were just talking about that, Bob, and I haven't seen him. He hasn't been on chat in like 4 or 5 days, or hasn't been in chat in 4 or 5 days. So I hope he's all right. It's crazy. It just happened like 8 minutes ago. They had breaking coverage of it on New York Times, of the attacks, which is wild. How does it feel to have a baby eater as president? I just a crazy man that think he is a rock star, enjoys his dog sister and a bit too much. Yeah, he. I mean, I don't want to be super political, but yeah, I did not vote for President Trump, either in either of his
Did we just become
campaigns.
best friends?
Ethan, Ethan, is that Ethan Carter? Is that what that said? Sorry, I can't. It was hard for me to see on the screen. Thank you very much for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Are there still companies still hiring remote devs at this time? It feels like can't find jobs at all. I honestly don't know. As far as the remote dev market, I don't. I honestly don't know. I've never had to really live in that market, so I don't have the experience or knowledge to really answer that question. Oh, there you go, Pablo. Pablo's got some recent experience. Remotes are only offered to senior devs. Interesting. Interesting. So, Steven, the advertisement I got while opening your live stream is about a course for an AI ops. Do you know what the F is that? No, I don't. I don't control any of the ads. I think they're all just from Google and Google's ad partners. But please watch it so that I can earn some AdSense. I haven't seen a job posting where remote is offered to fresh graduates on junior devs. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Unofficial currency code. I don't know why I would store the currency code on the transaction when it's already stored on the account. It seems redundant to me. Kurt's crying hard. Why are you crying? See you, Suas. Have fun. Have a good day. So we should do public string. I guess what is merchant name a good one? I guess we can do merchant name. Merchant name seems like it's ubiquitous thing. We probably want like a description. Definitely want a date. Let's see, date. Dario made the right choice for humanity. Well, Dario knows better than everyone, don't you know, Bob? Dario Dario knows what's right for us, and if we just trust him, if we just trust Dario, he'll see us. He'll see us to the promised land. Okay. Him and Claude Code, they will escort us exactly where we need to be. Don't you think too much. Don't you worry your little head about it. Exactly. Exactly. What would Dario do? These are the questions you should be asking yourself at all times. Oh god dang. uh Yeah, I just don't think the currency code needs to go on the transaction. I think that's redundant. The account has the currency code on it. I don't think I don't know. I guess I'm second guessing myself because I'm thinking maybe there's a reason why Plaid puts it on there. I honestly don't know, but I don't think it needs. So we have who we spent, where the money was spent at or came from, a brief description of it, the amount of it, the date it happened. We're connecting it to the account it happened in, and also the user it belongs to. I don't know why I would. Um, I don't know why I would need anything else. I talked to a dev at Palantir. Now they'll have to rip Claude out of everything they built and do. Oh, because of the did the DoD and Anthropic not get along? Did they finally like reach like a conclusion, or are they still fighting? That kind of sucks. That's probably going to require them to do a lot of rework. See, is it okay if I share my Discord profile for Pablo to DM? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, or you can join our Discord and find him in there if you want and talk to him that way. But yeah, you're more than welcome to share it. I don't know if YouTube might block your link. Though, but you're more than welcome to share it. Yeah, there you go. There's the Discord link. Okay, I'm going to start with that. I think that's good enough. Let's go to DB context. Let's jump down here to balance, to model, entity. What do we want to call this transaction? That. Oh, the other thing our model needs is we need transaction metadata. That way we have the ability to just have kind of a grab bag. So let's model it after this. Could you escape? Oh, of course, yeah, one sec, sorry. Sometimes I don't do a good job of keeping an eye on that stuff. I just approved. Whoever was waiting on the Discord membership, I approved it. People really put socialism, communism, and left wing all in the same bag. Gotta learn politics. Yeah, it's kind of a spectrum, right? So I think one of the best libraries in Python is Scikit. I like it a lot. All these algorithms are fun to use. Yeah, I've heard Scikit's Scikit seems to be a really popular library. Matplotlib, Pandas, those libraries seem to be like the backbone of scientific programming, which is pretty cool. I'm not a big Python guy myself, though. I mean, I love science, but like, I'm just not a big Python guy. Let's see, type. Yep, we need a discriminator. Just need a transaction ID. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and then we can go to our transaction. That was not what I expected. Transaction. Oh, that's from the alias. Why not a fan of Python? Not like a knock on. Sorry, Neil. Not like a knock on Python itself as like a language. Like I think it's a bad language or anything. Just more of like a personal preference thing. Like if I sat down and you were like, you can write, you can write this program in any language. Like I just wouldn't pick Python. It just doesn't click with me the same way other languages do. So Python's perfectly fine, capable programming language. It just I would prefer not to work in it myself. Just like some people don't like C# and some people don't like JavaScript. You know what I mean? It's just a preference thing. Python's so good. In this moment, I'm not going to choose anger or sadness. Don't need to. We got Steven, chat, coffee, and code. It's a good day. It is a good day. Yeah, we're trying to focus on the good things. Plotly, my beloved. I've never heard of Plotly. Or Ruby is greater than Python. I don't know how Python won. I think Python won because we've talked about this before on stream, but I think Python won because the people who most often find themselves using Python don't really care about programming or software engineering. They care about solving their problem, and Python lets them solve the problem with the least like ceremony and the least amount of lines of code probably in a lot of cases, like I mean, I think that's why a lot of the most popular libraries are essentially like Python bindings for C libraries, right? I use all of them: Scikit, Panda, NumPy, TensorFlow, Matplotlib to train and predict the models. Nice, dude. Yeah, you're all over the place. Well, I guess you're in that data science world, so that makes sense. Political discussions are so boring. They can be. Kurt's back to AI. It's like a circle. Like we go to politics, back to AI, back to politics. It's a constant loop. All right, we need public GUID account. What would this be? Transaction metadata. Let's see. Ugh. We've got account ID. We have. I don't even think we need to map a account ID. Let me open up another window here. Transaction. There we go. So we have merchant name. We have description. We have amount. We have date. Yeah, let's not go there, Dr. Lobenschatz. Let's not do that. This chat's gonna we need to rein it in a little bit. Oh man. Come back to the code, guys. Come back to LOL, it's just a joke. Yeah, it is it's a I mean I understand what you're saying, but like we're drifting a little close to the line, I think there. Don't get me canceled. Let's talk about the beauty of Python. Okay, now, well, we don't need to go way off the deep end there with the beauty of Python. That's the eb.has1. Should be T. It should all be T. Talking about a transaction, not a bounce. T dot has one user with one. Oh, with many, sorry, with many. With has foreign key. On delete behavior cascade. Then we have the same type of relationship for accounts. So we have T account ID. Same thing there. Keeps telling me to fix formatting, but I'm not sure what formatting I'm supposed to fix. Definitely something's off. There we go. There must be like an empty space or something here. Huh. I don't know what formatting it's complaining about. Okay, so then we have to do metadata. So we'll do same type of idea. Hold on, sorry. Let's see. Got rock. Please change the subject or leave. Let's see. You can bounce me. The guy kept pressing. If they press, I will press. I don't have to tolerate him making false claims about me. All right, hold on. What's going on here in chat? Do we need to do some moderation here? Trump is going to ban static fields from all classes. In a coding chat, though? Yeah, okay, so what's going on? The irony is he's asking me static fields is the best fields. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody, okay, everybody that's here, let's just all move off from whatever topic everybody's worked up about. I have to play dad. Hey, 86 it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, let's all just Oblivion, damn, no moderation potential in Twitch. So lonely here. I think you're in the right place. Okay, got rocks. Okay, okay, we're gonna got rocks is gone. So, you know, I mean, what boom, he's gone. Bye. All right, let's move on to something else. Got Rock turned him into daddy. Got Rock had something against. I have no idea. But I mean, I'm fine with you guys having conversations in chat. That's fine. But when they get heated, like, yeah, we're not doing that. So, and obviously, you guys are always welcome to like link up with each other in some other forum and talk about these things. You know, if you guys really want to discuss them. And we're all happier to argue over Python anyways. Yes, Python arguments would be a preferred topic. You could have just ghosted him so that we can't see his messages. Oh well. Dads need to chill. Daddy chill. What? All right, hey man, I don't mind bringing the banhammer down. You know, sometimes I think you just have to. Do you know the daddy chill meme? I don't. I need to look it up. Is this an internet thing? Oh my god, that about blinded me. Search it up. Search it up. I see.
All of you!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. People who use spaces might be serial killers? What? The tabs and spaces debate rages on. You guys are feeling spicy this morning. We're talking about Middle Eastern politics, left versus right. Now we're talking about tabs versus spaces. Woo! Oblivion, you could unban him for next stream if he wants to behave again. He'll be able to, or you could have some do moderator work for you. Not hard to have a spreadsheet and know who to keep an eye on and who's had moderate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't mind unbanning him next time. Everyone is rage baiting. Yeah. That's why there are less and less people using tabs. Sashika Sandeepa, remember me? I do not. I apologize. Your username does not ring a bell, but I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming back to the stream. What library are you using? I am currently using Entity Framework as my ORM in C#. Entity Framework's probably, I would guess it's probably the most used, most popular framework for C# applications, if I had to guess. I could be wrong, but I think it's by far the most capable ORM there is, probably, in the .NET space. Oh, it's already 5:45. Okay, we got to break and get some more coffee. Imagine if there wasn't if-else statements. Yeah, that'd be wild. Dude, I have stuff open from a year ago. How would I know when and where to send the link to? Yeah, we need a coffee break, man. Coffee break. My son has a basketball game, and today, normally, he's had basketball games the last, like, how many ever weekends. But today, the game is at 7 p.m. Like, 7 p.m. is when I'm, like, getting ready for bed. That's so late. Sound like an old person, don't I? Some of you probably don't start your evenings till 7 p.m., but that's when mine winds down. Ready for bed at 7. Dude, I'm old person. 7 p.m. is prime time. We eat dinner at 9. Yeah, so like normally 8 p.m. is bedtime around these parts. What time do you get up? Typically like 4:15 is what I've been getting up to stream. But yeah, I mean, leaving the house at 7 p.m. That's wild, man. That's crazy. The face you made when you took your headphones off, I thought the coffee kicked in and you were on your way to the bathroom. No, I had something caught in my throat. Like I was in the middle of some phlegm, you know, was stuck in my throat. Caught me off guard. Oh, that makes sense then. Yeah. I mean, usually though, the thing is like last night I stayed up till like 10 o'clock. Like I'll usually fall asleep sometime between 9 and 11. But the idea of like going out of the house to do an activity at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, that's kind of foreign to me at this point in my life. I'm a 32-year-old dad of two, man. Like I'm not out running the town anymore. All right, I'm gonna go get coffee and I'll meet you guys back here. If you're gonna leave because I left, that's fine. I hope you have a great day. If you're gonna stick around, then I'll meet you guys back here in a little bit. All right, BRB. We've written no code this morning. We have basically only chatted. I'm back. Alrighty. Yeah, I do use, Pablo's right. I do use NeoVim. I like Visual Studio. There's nothing wrong with Visual Studio. The new Visual Studio is actually pretty good. Visual Studio 2026. And I do use VS Code, and I like Writer. It depends on the day and the task that I'm trying to do. That kind of dictates what I use. Like yesterday, I spent a lot of time in Visual Studio. By the way, what are you building? I hope I understand. Okay, so the thing I'm working on, or that I've been working on for most of February, is basically a personal finance app. So if you're familiar with products like Mint.com or You Need to Budget or Credit Karma is kind of a similar thing. That's basically Intuit basically shut down Mint and like folded a lot of the functionality from Mint into Credit Karma. But the idea is basically to have a single pane of glass where I can go and see like all my financial accounts and credit cards, all the balances in one place. And then I can also track and categorize all my transactions in one place. Right now, I use YNAB is the tool I use right now. But it's just, one, it costs $15 a month, and two, it's too complicated. They use double entry accounting in their product. And I understand double entry accounting, but I feel like it's overcomplicated for a person who basically all I want to do is I just want to keep a running total of everything I've spent and everything I earned, and I just want to make sure that I've earned more than I've spent every month. Like I don't need anything really more complicated than that. And then occasionally I might want to look and visualize and see like this is how much we spent on rent. This is how much we spent on eating out. Simple stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to build at the moment. It's going well. I'm having fun. I'm learning about I'm using a service called Plaid to get the transaction and the financial data, and that's been fun. I'm not really using any new technologies on the front end or back end. I was gonna pull up the news, see if anybody's talking about the Iran thing. It's so early in the morning, all the news channels here are not even, I don't even think they're covering anything. There we go. Sorry, it took me a minute to find a news channel. Good morning, Gun High. It's good to see you. No news is good news, I guess. The all-in-one finance app with Simple UI. It's a really nice concept. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, it's really only going to be an app for myself and my wife to use. So it should be it'll be available publicly as like an open source project. So if you want to experiment with it, you'll have to provide your own like Plaid API keys and configuration stuff. You'll have to figure out how to host it. But yeah, that's the plan at the moment. I think DJT is supposed to go live sometime today. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be paying attention. I mean, I mean that's a big deal. I mean, it's a crazy big deal to be that we're in open conflict. What was that? Something just disconnected from the computer. I don't know what that was, but something just disconnected. God, this is driving me nuts. This keeps complaining about the formatting. I hope he doesn't shit his pants once more. Me too. Me too, man. I have the same hope. All right. We need to add a migration now that we have our transaction. Is there anything else we probably want to add? I don't think so. I think merchant name, description, amount, date, those all seem pretty generic. And anything else we want to capture from Plaid, we can stick on the Plaid metadata. I guess we do want to capture the Plaid metadata. Like we already know we want to do that. So let's go ahead and add that as a model here. Plaid metadata transaction. Plaid transaction metadata. And let's go ahead and copy the accounts. We'll do Plaid transaction. Fix up the namespace. Nope. Yep. Do not need that. Do need that. Oh, interesting. So right now the providers is under accounts, so we should probably move that up somewhere. Where you're under here. So let's move that to, I guess, like a common namespace maybe. It's gonna break some stuff. Okay, and then we'll do, we don't need Plaid name, but we do want Plaid ID. Okay. That's good. And let's go ahead and map that into our DB context. So this has value is going to be Plaid okay. That. Let's see, I must learn Spring Boot, especially Java Beans, to create projects like yours. Thank you. The depression is lifted for now because of you. Well, I'm glad your depression is lifted. I hope you weren't. I hope you aren't. Don't mean you were genuinely depressed. Because if you are genuinely depressed, you should go get help. But if you just meant like you're sad because of all the AI stuff going on in the world, I'm glad I could do what I could. But I've heard good things about Spring Boot. Kurtz. Yeah, I've heard good things about Spring Boot. I've never written any Java before though, so I don't know anything about it, but I've heard good things. So we just have Plaid ID is the only thing we're storing there. Okay. And then let's go back to where this is all being used, right? This is being used in the sync processor. Yeah, sync processor. Okay. So if the added transaction is pending, we just return false. And then now there is a property that Plaid gives us called sync transaction removed, or no, sorry, sync transaction response.removed. Let's see, transactions that have been removed from the item since cursor ordered by sending last modified time. I don't really know why I would ever need to use that if I'm only adding pending, or I'm only adding not pending transaction. Let's see, Plaid removed transactions. Let's see, the most common reason for this is in the case of pending transactions. In general, transactions start out as pending and then move to the posted state 1 to 2 business days later. When Plaid detects that a transaction has moved from pending to posted state, the pending transaction as returned by transactions get is not modified. Removed when they are canceled by the bank or payment processor. Change the bank so that Plaid can no longer recognize the new and old versions of the transactions as being the same. In this case, the old transaction will be deleted. A new transaction with new details will be added. This transaction churn may affect both pending and posted transactions. Oh. Okay, I'm going to start with the simplest thing first, which is just going to be we're only going to insert transactions that were added and are not pending. That's what we're going to start with. So we need to do something like this where we say var transaction equals added dot transaction, or let's see, added transaction we don't have a method for that, but then we'll have account, existing account, so we should probably nest that. We should nest this whole thing. So we're gonna add the balance, then we're gonna do an existing account dot add transaction. Like this. Now this doesn't have an add transaction method. Let's see, go here. This has a private read-only list of transactions. Then we'll say public I enumerable. Transactions always returns the private list. And then we will expose void add transaction. Want to just do this same thing. That. Where were we at? We were at the processor. Processor. Yeah, there you go. So now we should have an add transaction balance. Oh, yep, we do. So now we need a from method. So let's go here. Oh, that's using the wrong. Okay, so I actually think the from methods are not probably the right way to do this. It probably makes more sense to put an extension method on the plaid type. Let's do that. So let's go to I think I did that here, didn't I? Yeah, plaid extensions. Let's do that over here as well. Plaid extensions. So namespace physical OS dot infra transactions plaid public static class public static to transaction. This is it's gonna look weird because basically what I'm talking about it's gonna look a little weird because what I'm gonna talk about doing is I'm gonna talk about doing this. Like there's a processor. So basically, excuse me. I don't know. Maybe that's not what I want to do. It kind of goes against all the existing patterns in the code base at the moment. Hey, Noku, what's up? Long time no see. How are you doing? Let Claude to work, so thought I'd come say hi. Hey, David. Yeah, nice. You got Claude started on the task for the day. I like it. Claude's like your junior, huh? I'm absolutely dying in college. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. And music conservatory. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That you feel underwater with that stuff. Sync update processor might be the longest class declaration header ever. You haven't written much C# then. Just trialing it. Nice, very cool. Claude, I'm gonna need you to start coming to the office at least 2 days a week. Yeah, so if you could just come in this weekend, Claude, and I hate calculus and algebra. So I took college algebra in high school. I took calculus in college, and that was the highest math class I had to take for my degree was calculus. I didn't have to do differential equations or anything like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say those were classes I relished either. Hang in there though. I'm rooting for you. At least, let's see. Show the Steven. Show them. You are more than welcome. Oh, the class names? Oh man, the class names are crazy. Yeah. Like look at this one. Sync updates available webhook. Look at that class name. That's not even mine. That's from the Plaid library. There's another one that's like what was that one from the other day? I think Bob was here when we were looking at it the other day. Bob said it was probably programmatically generated. He's probably not wrong. Let me see. I think it was in the Fire webhook. Look at this name. This is the name of an enum. What is that? I don't even know how many characters that is. That's so many characters. Class builder for building builds that require builders. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right, Noku. You know what's up. You know how we like to roll over here into .NET land. We're not afraid of using some length, you know? That's 44 characters. This is a 44 character long enum name. Well, what can I say? What can I say? We do it differently over here in C# world. All you folks over there, you like all your terse Python syntax, okay? We do it a little differently. We do it a little differently. Oh. Oh yeah, okay, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So let's do let's just suck it up and do it the way we've been doing it. Let's see, count transaction. We do public static transaction from abstract base object factory builder manager class. Yes. Yes. This is I'm not going to argue with you guys, okay? Your descriptions of class names are very accurate. Dr. Lobenshot, keep up the good work, good shit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'll keep naming my classes very long names. Pretty normal class names in Java. Yeah, I mean Java and C# I feel like are cousins or something. So Pablo, AI was invented for C#. No wonder Microsoft likes Copilot so much. Java deserves to not exist anymore. Really? You feel that strongly, huh? A lot of people in chat, they like Copilot. Let's see. So I guess we're gonna need we need a GUID, which is our user ID. We need a GUID, which is our account ID. We need the merchant name. We need the description. We need the decimal. amount, date. Oh, we also need the metadata. Okay. And then we have to return a new one. We just have to populate all those things. So we'll say, let's see, user ID equals user ID, account ID equals ID, merchant name. Oops. Oh, these should be lowercase. Oops. Then we have to go back to here, which is the processor. Let's see, processor. We're gonna have to alias this. So we're gonna have to say using transaction equals physical s dot core dot transactions. Yeah, now we need to provide that data here. Let's see, so we have existing account, so we'll say existing account dot user ID, existing account dot ID. We need the merchant name, which is going to come from the added transaction. So this is going to be merchant name dot description dot amount. Oh, excuse me. And dot, what was the last thing we needed? Date. Yeah. Date. Or no, we want date time. This is the date and the time the transaction was posted. Yep, that's what we want. And then the last thing we need is the metadata. This is just going to be added dot ID. Yeah, account ID. See, possible null reference argument. I don't know why they'd mark this as nullable. Like, that's fine. But if you give me a null one, I'm going to throw argument null. Because that seems weird. I think I have multiple OmniSharps attached to my buffer. Huh. Wonder how that's happening. There's multiple. Must be a bug in my config or something. It's weird. Hello, Mohammed. Good to see you. C# is so fun to write. I like C#. As we'll, yes, this is C#. What are we building? We're working on building a personal finance app. Is what we're trying to build right now. Okay, so we do that for each pending. So we're gonna delete that. So we add the balance. We don't have the cursor yet. Cannot convert from decimal. Cannot convert from time, date, offset. So why are these properties nullable? If they, like, it's not a, to me it's not a valid transaction. If either of these aren't set, it's not a valid transaction. So that's, I mean, that's fine. But if you don't have a date, what I need to probably throw. So this should be argument null ref exception dot throw if null amount. Passing a nullable struct may cause boxing. I don't think I've ever seen that error before. Let's go read about it, or that analyzer warning. I think it's actually a warning that I'm treating like an error, but I don't think I've ever seen that before. CA 1871. CA 1871. C#. Good morning, Lorenz. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Check for null and throw the argument. Okay. Key. I can do that. So we do if amount. We do if amount dot has value is false.
Did we just become best friends?
Guarnez, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Throw new null argument exception. There we go. What are you complaining about? Amount dot value? Okay. Why are you complaining now? The type or namespace transaction could not be what? Possible null no, that's not true. I think I have, why do I keep having multiple Omnisharps attached. I don't understand. Oh no, there's just one. So why are you complaining? Because I already updated this definition. Oh, because those are nullable as well. What? Why did they mark everything as nullable? I don't understand. I don't understand why they did that. That's really silly. I hate null. I hate it so much. Damn you, Tony whore. Good morning, Suhas. Good to see you. Skill issue? Oh, wow. Dang. Call me out. What do you think about AI MCP server, which downloads and stores the music in a vector database so that I can have my own recommendation engine? I think sounds like an interesting project, man. All right, let's review this code. So whenever we get one of these updates, we're going to look up the institution. We're going to do this big old nasty query with a bunch of joins. If we can't find the institution, we're just going to log a warning. If we can't find the user, we're going to log a warning. If the plaid metadata is not there, we have a problem. If we get all the way here, we'll decrypt the access token, and we'll try to make a request to the plaid API. If it fails, we'll log, and then if it succeeds, we will do the needful. So we will get the existing account. We will grab the balance. We will then add the balance to the existing account, and we will add any transactions that are added and are not pending. Okay, cool. So let's give this a run. Oh, hold on. Actually, we need to do migration stuff before we do that. So we have to do .NET EF migration add. Let's see, add transaction and transaction metadata models. Hopefully this works. Okay, and then we need to update the database with the migrations. .NET EF database update. Okay. And then we can go ahead and do Aspire. Let's see, PhysicalOS. Do Aspire run. Let's open Postman up. Okay, let's log into the dashboard. Hey man, how can I join your Discord? If you type !Discord in the chat, you'll get a link. Staring into our soul now. And then you get a link, and then click on that link, and it'll take you where you need to go. !Discord, yeah. And it's a very easy link to remember. It's just discord.stephenfreeborn.com. Alrighty. I'm gonna do Steven. Password. Hey Rookley, good to see you. Alright. And then let's log in over here. Okay, so we're gonna fire a webhook. And let's see what happens. Okay, the webhook returned okay. Now let's go to Structured logs. So it looks like something happened. Huh. So I don't see any processing. We should see a log statement that says something like processing. Oh, I know why. I didn't start in Grok. That's my bad. The webhooks can't get through. All right, we'll wait for a second. They should try. It should retry. Plaid should retry to send the webhook. Kurtz, did you get your domain from Cloudflare? I got my domains. One of my domains was purchased through a company called One and One, which I think now they're called Ionos. And then my most recent domains I purchased from a company called Pork Bun. That's probably who I would recommend if you're in the market to purchase a domain. I would probably look at Pork Bun. I think they're pretty cool domain registrar. And then I just set the domains up in Cloudflare so that I can have Cloudflare proxy stuff. Rookley, did you design the logo? What logo, Rookley? Yusuf, I really like your consistency. I'm a Java full stack developer who is working with Amigos Code and getting his mentorship. I don't know if you know him. He is a famous Java YouTuber. What can be your recommend for me? I do not know that YouTuber, but that's probably not a reflection on him. I'm just not in the Java space, so I don't know him. But that's very cool that you're working through that. I try to be consistent. Yeah, consistency is kind of my superpower in life. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's being consistent. As far as recommendations to break into tech, I think the biggest recommendation I would have if you were if I'll speak to you like if my son was asking me this question is I would say don't be picky. Like right now it's obviously it's a pretty interesting job market, so I wouldn't be picky about the job that you take to get in the door, right? If you have technical skills and technical chops, the key is get in the door so that you can have opportunities to prove yourself, because I think it's a lot easier to advance and prove yourself once you're in than trying to do it from the outside. So that would probably be my advice. Like, don't be afraid to take a support role. Don't be afraid to take some sort of solution engineering role or something that's not directly related to the ideal job you want, but get your foot in the door so that you can start building a name for yourself within that company, and you can start making connections and start networking, and then eventually work your way into the job that you want. That would probably be my one piece of advice. The physical OS logo? I don't have a logo for it. Or at least right now I don't have a logo for it. This is just this right here, this is Aspire. This is the dashboard you're looking at. This is Aspire. This isn't my application. This is a separate thing. Aspire.dev. This is what that's the logo that you're talking about. Yeah. Check out Aspire. It's pretty baller. Kurt, solid device. Yeah, that's what I would tell my sons if they were trying to break in. Okay, so our webhook finally got handled. Looks like we successfully processed sync update for item. Cool. Now let's look at our database. We should have a bunch of transactions in there. I mean, hopefully we have some transactions in there. Okay, there's our account. There's the transaction table. Oh, I guess. I guess I don't know if there was transactions to be added, do I? I don't have any logging to handle that. I wonder if there's a way to force a webhook with. So it did complete successfully. I wonder if there's a way to force it to have data. Let's see. Plaid API test webhook with transactions. So using dynamic transactions, force the transaction update. Let's see if Bill can answer us. Bill is Plaid's AI companion. Is there a way I can force a test webhook with transaction data? Let's see. Thank you for this advice, but for a junior .NET dev, what's the roadmap you propose to become a mid-level? Because where I work, we have an ERP in-house with .NET and Dev Express, but I want to explore more. I don't really think I just don't think I'm the right person to provide a roadmap. My approach to getting better has just been time in the saddle. And I don't know if that's the most efficient approach. My approach to getting better is to put in the reps and put in the time. So spend time exploring the edges of what you know and trying to push those edges further and further out, right? So if you've never built a backend queue processing system with .NET, go build that. If you've never built an API with .NET, go build that. If you've never built a console application with .NET, go build that. If you've never implemented the outbox pattern in .NET, go do that, right? Like to me, your job is only going to give you any job, doesn't matter what profession or what job you're doing, any job you have is going to have a scope. And so the opportunities you get to build things and do things at work is always going to be limited by that scope and what the business needs. So if you want to advance your knowledge and your learnings, you really have to take it upon yourself to be like, okay, what's something I can go do or learn about or build that I don't currently know anything about? And if my boss was to ask me to go and do it tomorrow, I would be lost. And you can basically use that as like a starting point for creating a list of all the things you would like to go and do, right? Like if you don't understand async and await, maybe go implement async and await from scratch, right? Those are all things like, and part of that's all going to be dictated by like, what are you most interested in? What are the areas you want to actually work in? What do you want to be known for? Right? Like you can't know everything. You can't know everything about everything. So you sort of have to pick like what's your vertical that you're going to focus on. But that would be my advice. But I don't really have like a roadmap per se. Like it's just trying to put in the time and the reps in the things that you want to learn more about. Well, well, well. I'd like to actually see this work. Oh, oops. Okay, I just fired 3 webhooks. Let's see if there's any data. There's no transaction data. So let's try adding a different account. Let's see, add account. I don't know why that sidebar is broken. Savings? I don't know. Okay, let's get the savings. Okay, we'll try a different account.
Did we just become best friends?
Baller Boy, nice username. Thanks for subbing. Appreciate you. Okay, let's send that guy. There's no transaction data. I don't know how to get transaction data. Let's see. I'd really like to be able to test this though. You know, I'd like to be able to see the I mean, obviously I can write my own test for it, but I'd really like to be able to see it interact with the Plaid API. Let's see, which Plaid test institutions have transaction data? Okay, maybe this is what I want to use. Okay, let's add that one and see what happens. Where are we? Let's add a new institution. Good morning, Justin. Good to see you. I spent like 4 days making a single sidebar. Nice, nice. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's fun to obsess over the details. I always really appreciate a sidebar. You know, it has really nice, smooth animations, responsive, looks good on small screens, looks good on big screens. Because I know how hard that is to implement. I mean, people don't even people just don't understand the level of effort, right? That someone has to put into something like that. It's kind of like a login form. Like people, I think, always underestimate the complexity in a login form as well. Finish without saving. Okay, then we're gonna add. Oh, I just received a new webhook. What was that? Received transaction webhook initial update. Yeah, I don't handle that one. I don't handle that webhook. So go back here. Let's add an account. Let's add checking. Okay. And then let's go get that account real quick from the database. Account. Refresh.
Did we just become best friends?
Oh, weird. I don't see the Tookie. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I don't see the institution. That's weird. There's definitely 2 institutions there. Am I looking at the right database? Close data. close. Oh, I think I was looking at a stale. Yeah, there we go. I was looking at a stale view. Let's see. This is the most recent created one, I think. 1228. Yeah. So let's do copy that ID. This all need. I need to sit down and write automated tests because this is all becoming a pain to test this manually. Okay, so I'm gonna send a webhook. We should have received a new webhook. Yep, that's right. Let's see if we got any transactions. No, we still didn't get any transactions, huh? I wonder if that test update just doesn't have transaction data. I guess we'll just have to I mean, we can definitely simulate it. The thing, you know what I mean? Like we can definitely write like some mocked unit tests, but it would have been cool to be able to manually verify that it actually does what we think it does. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be like we'll be able to manual test it. We probably need to get away from manual testing this stuff anyways because it's kind of a pain to keep doing it this way. We probably should stop what we're doing and we should probably go and implement that as well. All right, so the one piece we're currently missing is the cursor piece. That's the piece that we haven't connected. So what should happen is I guess what should happen is that there should be a cursor that we store on the, let's rename this to Plaid institution metadata. Okay, so basically two things should happen. Whenever we add the account, which we do that in the API, whenever we add the account here, we should perform a sync. The sync will return the initial cursor, which we will store, I guess, on the institution, which we will store on the associated, on the accounts No, it needs to be stored on the account, which we'll store on the account. And then the sync will also give us the account's initial balance. So we can remove it from the request. 3, the sync will also give us the account's transactions, which we can persist. Yes. Let's go back to Plaid and let's ask Bill. Let's ask Bill some more questions. Hi, I'm extremely new to programming. What is your favorite thing to do in this space? Let's see. Programming wise, my favorite thing to do. Hold on one second. I gotta plug in my phone. I think right now web development still my favorite area to develop in. Um, I think in general, I just like playing with adult Legos. Meaning, I just like to explore how you put things together and how you can make things fit nicely together to solve problems. Like I find that pleasing and enjoyable. The domain is not super terribly important to me, honestly. Like I like building console applications. Web development's fun. I just built a Notepad app with Rust. That was a good time. That was a native app. Um, yeah, I just enjoy. It's kind of like asking me what my favorite lift is in the gym. Like, I just enjoy lifting in general. I'm just happy doing that. So Cursor the IDE? No, Cursor, not Cursor the IDE. Cursor as in a cursor to query into a database. Let's see, things built software in different stacks, mid-senior level devs should be language agnostic. Yeah, that makes sense. People coming into SWE or trying to level up need to remember the most important part. You must think abstractly. Yeah, that makes sense. Kurtz, F that cursor. Bob Knoll, adult logos, put things together. Pleasing and enjoyable. Interesting change of topic. Azrate, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. What was I going to ask this guy? I was going to ask this guy a question about something about something. I completely lost my thought. Oh, let's see. Transaction sync. There's a cursor. Okay, this is what I was going to look at. So the cursor value represents the last update requested. Providing it will cause the response to only return changes after this update. If omitted, the entire history of updates will be returned, starting with the first added transactions on the item. The cursor also accepts the special value of now, which can be used to fast forward the cursor as part of migrating an existing item. For more information, see the transaction sync migration guide. Note that using now value is not supported for any use case other than migrating existing items. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to figure out, I'll just state this. I'll just state this clearly for myself. So what I'm trying to figure out is the cursor unique to the account or the set of accounts being requested, or is it unique to the institution? Because you can specify what account you want updates for here. Okay, if provided, the returned updates and cursor will only reflect the specified account's transactions. Omitting account ID returns updates for all accounts under the item. Note that specifying account ID effectively creates a separate incremental update stream and therefore a separate... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. This is what I thought I read the other day, but I couldn't remember. You will maintain multiple cursors, one per account ID. If you decide to begin filtering after using no account ID, start fresh with a null cursor. Do not reuse. Okay, so yes. So that means, based on how I've set this up, which might not be the right way, where are we? The sync processor needs to do this differently. So the sync transaction response actually needs to be moved down. Right? Yeah. So hold on, before I do that, let me modify the loop. So what's going to happen is essentially, instead of looping over these accounts, we're going to loop over for each existing count in institution accounts. If so yeah, basically, so then for each account, we're going to make this request. Let's see, unable to sync transaction. So say sync transaction response. Unable to sync transactions. And what we actually want to do is we want to say unable to sync transactions for account. And this would be account ID. For legal purposes, that's a joke. Hold on, I missed this. Too many damn cursors. Using an AI ID while studying was your first problem. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I feel you, because like I feel like a lot of people are caught between this pressure to use AI because that's what everybody is running around screaming right now, and at the same time, you're also feel this pressure to also be competent. And how do you get competent using AI tools? I don't really know how that works. So yeah, it's a difficult spot to be in. See, someone who doesn't know tech, a single programming language, no AI technology, was appointed as AI lead. Meanwhile, I was given audit me, who fine-tuned an LLM, which got sold to client. Life sucks. Yeah, I mean, honestly, life should be a meritocracy, but it's not a meritocracy, unfortunately, man. Unfortunately. I also don't like this name now. And so this will actually come from the account. So this will actually be like account.cursor. This doesn't exist yet, but it will. Then what we need to do is we can just do all of this logic up here. That's actually, if I'm being honest, good morning, Bradley. Good to see you. How are things down under? That's actually, if I'm being completely honest, it's one of the hardest things that I've had to reconcile with as an adult, is just I kind of thought the world was a little bit of a meritocracy, especially coming out of high school. Like I thought the world would be kind of like sports were, where like your performance speaks for itself, and those who do the best work will reap the most reward. And unfortunately, uh, that is not the case. Unfortunately. See, account does not. What do you mean it doesn't? So does. Oh, it so doesn't. Oh yeah, okay. So this should actually be. This one should actually be Plaid account. Plaid account. Sadly, in corporate, if you're a techie, you also have to have good communication skills. Otherwise, you'll always be overlooked for someone who can talk prettier. Yeah, that's visibility matters, man. It matters so much. Doesn't matter how smart or talented you are if you can't get people to understand the complicated shit you are working on. Yeah, I mean that, and that's just that's business in general. No one gives a shit about most of the things we all care about. Let's see, account. Additional headers. What is this? Pass additional request headers. No, that's not what I want. I want to pass the required. I want to pass the account. Why can't I do that? Transaction sync async. We need to go see why they won't let us do that. Because we should be able to pass. Oh, I bet it's options. I bet it's a complex object. So I bet it's this. We have to say option. Yeah, there you go. Options. And then I bet I have to say account ID. And I'm guessing this is the Plaid account ID. So this is where we have to say equals account dot metadata dot Plaid ID. Plaid account metadata like this. Now that's going to complain because it's going to say, oh no, this could be null. Wait, what? Oh, I have to cast it first. Whoops, sorry. So what we need to do is we actually need to say var plaid metadata equals plaid account metadata like that. And this could be null. So if plaid metadata is null, well, we can't actually make this request. So we continue. And we'll just log logger.log warning unable to sync transactions for account ID because it has no Plaid metadata. It's about time. Longest 5 minutes ever. What is going on here? Thank you for the tips. Luckily, I love coding and I love talking, so I really lucked out on the autism dice roll. Yeah, you did. You got the superpowers. Oh, longest. Did you say longest 5 minutes ever because you have to sub to be able to talk? Yeah. That's how we keep the trolls away. What is going on here is we are drinking coffee. Ding, 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 ding. We're drinking coffee. We're writing code, and occasionally we're chatting. Although we did a bunch of chatting in the first hour of the stream, so we're doing a little bit more coding in the second. What are you coding? We are working on building a personal finance app. It basically syncs data from my so that I can see all my financial information in one place. Justin, no, I was late, missed the chat session. Oh, dude, you did, man. We had some major chat going on. We had people crashing out about left versus right politics. We had people crashing out about AI. Yeah, there was a lot going on this morning. There was a lot of spicy topics. It was fun though. It was fun. We even had to ban a guy. It was pretty crazy. What do you have for a PC? I can show you my PC. Specs, one sec. Fast fetch. Those are my PC specs. Which language do I use? I like C# when I'm building backends. And I like TypeScript when I'm building... If I have to do something on the client, obviously. If I'm building something for the web, then obviously I'm going to use JavaScript on the front end. But I like to author in TypeScript. But I know TypeScript, I know C#, I know Python, I know Rust, I know Go. So I can kind of pick from a smorgasbord of languages, but my favorite language right now is C#, and then probably TypeScript after that, maybe tied with Go at this point. Rust was a lot of fun. I just don't feel very confident in it yet. And then Python is the one I kind of like try to avoid as much as I can. Noku, build a front end and see. That does not sound fun. That does not sound like a good time. I've never written any C before in my life. I think I'll just stick to trying to I'll just stick to being a C# guy. Let's see. So we have our cursor, but let's just comment that out for a sec. Let's see, unable to sync. Yep, that makes sense. And then here we need to say, so basically what we have to do is we have to make sure that there is a, so basically we need to say var Plaid account equals sync transaction response dot accounts dot first or default. First or default. So this is kind of the same thing we were doing earlier, where the Plaid account dot account ID equals the Plaid account metadata dot Plaid ID, and then if there's no Plaid account, then we know something. Well, it's not necessarily wrong. It just means that there's no. It's not a return, it's a continue. Same thing here. It's not a return, it's a continue because we're in a for loop. It's not necessarily wrong. It's just we need to probably, let's see, logger.log warning. Unable to sync transactions for account ID because no corresponding Plaid account found. Then we can do all our normal stuff. Now, the one thing I didn't think about here was well, they say, I guess we can just trust them, right? If provided, the returned updates and cursors will only reflect the specified account's transactions, which means we don't really need to check here. Like, we should be able to take it for granted that any transactions here are related to our account. So we'll just take them at their word there. Don't know if that's safe to do, but that's what we're going to do. All right, so then what we have to do is we need to track the cursor. This is where we originally started this whole thing. So we need to track the cursor. And the cursor is going to come from the initial call when we add the account. So let's go to account here. And so we need to add a new public string cursor.
Did we just become best friends?
Landry? I think that's how you say your name? Landry? Yeah, thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that. I'm looking at getting a laptop for editing. Why would I buy an i9 over an i7? I have no idea. Whenever I'm buying hardware, I always just try to reach for whatever future-proofs me the most in the budget that I have. So it's kind of a trade-offs thing. So if you have a budget, I always just try to get the max headroom I can when I'm buying hardware. So if you can afford to get an i9 over an i7, I'd probably get the i9. But like, I can't really I couldn't sit here and like tell you, here's exactly why you need to do it for these particular use cases. Kurtz, have you thought about getting a dedicated GPU? I have not. No, I have not. I'm actually not like super interested on spending any more money on anything related to computers or hardware at this point, because I make very little money from using any of it. So it's basically just it's all losing money. The more money I spend on this kind of stuff is the longer it's going to take me to retire. And at this point, all I care about is getting to retirement as soon as possible. I've never had an Alienware laptop. Could be good. Could be bad. I don't know. Kurt, you're still too young to retire? Well, I'm 32. So, I mean, dude, if I could retire today, I would. Retire to me means, it probably means something different to everybody. But when I say retire, I mean become financially independent. I mean not have to be dependent on an employer for my livelihood. That's what I mean by retire. I mean like wake up in the morning and have the freedom to choose what I do. That might be work. It might be not work. But like having the optionality. That's what I mean.
Did we just become best friends?
Jorge, good to see you. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. Kurtz, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why. I mean, Pablo, we're chatting politics. Exactly. Right? Wake up in the morning, stream, piss people off with my thoughts about politics. I'm going to be one of those old men that hang out down at the coffee shop in the mornings and just rant about whatever the current events are. Kurtz, hopefully you'll get there ASAP. Yeah, that's my goal. Get there as soon as possible. So that's why I'm not interested in wasting money on hardware, GPUs, CPUs, or whatever, you know. Kosovo politics, to be more exact. Yeah, that conversation went so niche, so quick. What if there's some combination of YouTube and coding that gets you there? That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be totally fine. I'd be totally fine with that too. Yeah, I mean, I have a number. I know what my number is right now based on my current earnings. I'm looking at 52 is probably the quickest I can get there. Obviously, that's not factoring in like job changes or raises and that sort of thing. So anything that accelerates that timeline, I am more than open to. Go into coffee shops and just oppose whatever the other people say. More fun. Just be a devil's advocate all the time. Stephanus, we're going past 7 today. Yeah, I didn't. Well, I don't have to work today, and I don't have any plans. I'm gonna go have lunch with someone I used to work with and do a little bit of networking. Right? Got to keep up with your network. Gonna go have lunch with someone, and then my son has a basketball game this evening, so we don't really have much planned today. It's Saturday, day off. How long have you owned this i7? I've had this computer since like mid-year last year. I bought this I think in the summer of 2025. I bought this machine. The Germans paying immigrants to have baby was a lot. Oh man. I mean, we were all over the place, dude. What if you could vibe code a product that gets you to fire? That'd be pretty baller. The only product I'd be interested though in selling, Bob, is I'd only be interested in selling a product that has very, very low maintenance and ongoing commitment. Like I want something that's very transactional. Like I built this piece of software. Here you go. You pay me one time, $5. Here's your software. Have a nice day. I don't really want to be on the hook for like ongoing maintenance and upkeep or whatever. Mayork, have you done DSA? I did take a data structures and algorithm course through Free Code Camp, but the closest I get to that world every year is Advent of Code, which is sort of like Christmas themed leak code. That's as close as I get to that world. One guy said Intel will melt. I don't know. I mean, Intel has had issues in the last few years. I've only had Intel machines for the last 10. Well, I guess I've had one AMD machine, but I haven't had an issue with any of the Intel stuff I've had. But I know they have had issues. Pablo, he's definitely consuming the wrong media. Well, there's a lot of media to consume, that's for sure. When did the politics combo happen? This morning. It was like right when we started stream. Basically, the first hour of the stream was just a lot of talking about a lot of stuff. That's what it was. Suas, I wanted to invest in it, but Pat Gelsinger, yeah, I'm still sad about Pat Gelsinger getting the axe at Intel. I still don't think the board gave him a long enough runway to execute what he was trying to execute, but that's neither here nor there. Bob, no idea for you. App with algorithmic fitness plan, progression, deload, track stuff, and it auto adjusts. That'd be a cool idea. Yeah. I've tried to think of stuff that I could build in the fitness world. My problem with building stuff in the fitness world is I just have such deep, strong beliefs, and and I just, yeah, I don't know. The fitness thing is hard for me. The fitness thing is hard for me. But yeah, that would be a cool idea. I will turn this company around in like 5 to 10 years. But yeah, he didn't. I mean, yeah, he didn't get the challenges he was facing and the complexity of their business just was not something that could be turned around in 8 quarters. Like he needed probably a good half decade, but there just wasn't an appetite for it. It's really stupid of companies to prioritize short-term gain over long-term gain. This is 100% the truth. That's one of the reasons I liked working at Ajinomoto when I was a food scientist. I loved working at Ajinomoto. Was they thought in really long time horizons, like 100 years. Like, what's the next 100 years look like? Which I really appreciated. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, cursor. That's what it was. Cursor. Wait, you have a degree in food industry like me? I have a degree in biochemistry, but I started my career as a food scientist. I worked for Ajinomoto North America. We did. I specifically worked in their food service division. I worked on coated appetizers and pot stickers. It was a good job. It was good job, good career. Loved the team I worked with. Just didn't have a really deep passion for like the domain, but it was good. It was a good career. Two of my favorite streamers are streaming at a time. Oh, well, then that means I need to wrap up. I don't want to be competing with other folks because I can't hold my own. uh, Good morning, Jack. My name is short for Redskin Garage, my main channel. Nice, cool. Let's see, I'm getting made redundant in 7 months due to short-sighted business management. Parent company sold us out to our main competitor for extremely cheap because they wanted a quick buck, and the competitor is basically just dissolving the company. I'm sorry to hear that, Charlie. That's tough, man. That's really tough. I wish I had some words that could make you feel better or give you reassurance. I guess the thing I can offer is I really do believe that this too shall pass, right? So whatever doors are closing for you now, whatever pain you're experiencing now, it will eventually subside and something better will take its place. I do believe it, and I wish you the best. Bob, don't you force Steven to wrap up. Who said that? Let's see. All my editing is being done right now with the phone. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. You can get really far now with video editing, and I mean, some of the best video editing tools live in the what's that app for TikTok? CapCut, and YouTube just released one called Create. They have some really, really good video editing tools in these mobile applications. Super convenient. Yeah, very user friendly. It's pretty impressive, especially with short form vertical video being such the thing at this moment in time. It's pretty impressive. No, it's not cool. Not with this phone. It won't even run CapCut. Oh, well, if you're hamstrung by hardware, yeah, I didn't really think about that. I figured you had something that could do those things. Charlie, it is what it is. I'll be fine. Just annoying that people that get into these management positions don't seem to care for the business. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, most people don't care. Most people, you can look at it as a negative thing or you can look at it as a freeing thing, but most people are only concerned with themselves. Like, they're not worried about you or what you're doing, which is kind of shitty, but like at the same time, it's also kind of freeing. It means that it gives you permission to kind of do the same. And not worry so much about what other people are doing. Seven months notice is crazy advance notice. I'm assuming you're in the UK. Is that common to get that much? 7 months does seem like a lot of notice. Oh, that actually shouldn't be on the account, should it? That should be on the That was a bad decision. That shouldn't be there. This should go on the Plaid metadata. Where's that at? It's over here. It should go here. And then we should update all these. Okay. Alright, and then now what we can do is we can come here. Where are we? Here. And we can say cursor equals Plaid account metadata cursor. This. And then we have to go to our DB context. DB context. Gotta find account metadata here. Static m dot cursor. And then that's going to cause a bunch of angriness back at the account level here. So this is where we need to say so we have a user that has an institution and it has not that account, which means we can var decrypted access token equals await. It almost makes me want to just, now that I say this, this processor, well, never mind. Let's just keep it simple, stupid. User.institutions. Let's see, this takes a decryptor, or sorry, encryptor. Then we'll do. How do you remember all this? I don't all the time. I look things up all incessantly, you know, constantly having to look stuff up. I remember some things, but I'm always looking things up.
Kelsey says, "Look behind you."
Kelsey. Good morning, honey. I'm almost done for the morning. I'm gonna come up here in just a second. I'm almost to a stopping point. This will be institution dot. Yeah, she likes to do that because it makes me paranoid. it makes me think now that something's like always behind
Kelsey says,
me.
"Watch out."
How do you know what to look up? Just through reps. I mean, you build enough things enough times, and you basically figure out where your gaps in your knowledge are. It's like, oh, here's what I want to do, but I'm not sure how to do that, and then you just go Google it. Or in today's world, you could go ask Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever LLM of choice it is. But yeah, you just kind of figure out what the thing is you're trying to accomplish, translate that into some question for Google or an LLM, and then go. And then the amount of time that you need to stop and ask questions and look things up gets less, but you never actually stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of always a thing you do. Abdul, hey Steven, I'm a backend dev. I want to improve my front end skills.
Kelsey says, man, that's deep.
I know, I know basic HTML, CSS, but I'm not really good at designing. Do you recommend I jump into JavaScript or refine my HTML and CSS? I think you can kind of do both, right? Because your design skills are just going to get better and better the more things you make and the more you expose yourself to other people's designs, right? So I don't, and JavaScript ties in, like JavaScript, HTML, CSS all ties in to front end web design. Like that, you need all three of those things to build modern front ends. So I feel like those don't have to be like separate paths or like separate. I feel like you can, if you spend an hour working on learning how to build a React site or a Next.js site, you're also going to spend that same hour thinking or working on your design skills. So I think there's some overlap there. My favorite person to learn design stuff from, especially CSS stuff, is a guy named Kevin Powell. He has a YouTube channel. He just has a ton of great content on CSS and design, and I think he was a teacher at one point in his career. So he's got a really good way of like breaking things down and explaining them in a helpful way. I think he works on the Odin project somehow. I think he has some tie to the Odin project in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, he has really good kind of web designy content. So you might go check out his channel. Kevin Powell's he is the GOAT. Yeah, he is the GOAT. So you're writing an order of operations? Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm just writing a procedure for how to handle a particular endpoint. Yeah, late night basketball. Yeah, 7 o'clock, man. That's old for us. That's late for us old people. Let's see. Let's see. I'm also going to add var clad institution metadata equals. We also need to add that to our query. You just say dot, then include. Split query.
Did we just become best friends?
Valdas, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that.
Did we just become best friends?
Mr. Super Femo? I don't know what that username's about, but thanks for the sub. Appreciate you guys. Abdul, oh, thanks, Steven. Took some weight off my chest. Yeah. I think there's some overlap there. I don't think you have to pick one. I think you can definitely try to, use your time in a way that actually, is beneficial for both things. Let's see, institution. User institutions first metadata. And then we'll do something like this. Applied institution metadata is false.
Kelsey says fart knocker.
See, Kelsey's got your back. You guys have to be careful. If she sees that she can make us laugh, she'll. This Spin her up and watch her go. She. uh, let's see. The Plaid institution ID feels invalid. Let's see. We do. I don't really know if this is a case that should ever happen. But I just feel like you should err on the side of handling the cases. Whenever I think to myself, this should never happen, I always think, yeah, it's probably going to happen. The connected institution has no Plaid metadata. Not is false, is null. What am I thinking? Alright, why were we doing that? Because we wanted to get the access token. So now we can do Plaid institution metadata, encrypted access token. We can pass our cancellation token down. Now that we have our decrypted access token, we can do the same thing we're doing in our processor. Do the same thing here. We can do the exact same thing here. Plaid account. There's so much bad code in this code base right now. I've been doing all the low effort ways to get everything done. Let's see, Plaid client. I'm gonna have there's a lot of work. There's a lot of time I need to spend just going back over everything, polishing things up. Let's see, Plaid account metadata. This is gonna be explicitly set to null because we're adding it for the first time. Okay. Now the account ID I think is coming from request.plaid. There you go, Plaid account ID. And then the logger, there is no logger. So if sync transaction response is successful as false, we basically have to halt, right? Yeah, we basically have to halt. This is where we basically want to return results dot, I guess, internal server error, because something's gone wrong that we didn't really plan for. And then if this response does not contain that request, well then, yeah, we've got something else that's wrong. Okay. So we should then be able to say, well, I guess now we can derive all this stuff from the actual Plaid request or Plaid account. So we can say Plaid account dot account ID. Plaid account may not be null here. Oh, yeah. Let's see. We do Plaid account is null. This would be Plaid account dot name. And then this will be from the response. So we do sync transaction response dot cursor. That or next cursor. And I think that does it. Oh, the transactions. We have to also do the transactions. So we need to loop over. We have to loop over. Oh, this also can be to do source the balance from Plaid account, not the request. This. And then to do add all the transactions to the account. So basically what's happening here is in this endpoint, this is when the user adds an account. And part of that process of adding the account is going to require us initializing a sync for that account. When we initialize the sync, we will capture the cursor, and that is how we will get ongoing Delta, basically Delta updates. So like only get me the transactions that have occurred since this point in time. It'll also serve as the first time that we get all the transactions that are available for this particular account. So we're doing all of that inside this endpoint.
Kelsey says noise.
I'm glad you can appreciate it. Yeah. Linus turned Windows into wine. Oh, I don't think Windows has anything to do with Linux, does it? Suas, loop the loop. Yeah, we be doing some looping. Let's hack the FBI. No, don't hack the FBI. That sounds like a bad idea. I'm obsessed with the Julia language now, but no more game making for me. Interesting. I've never heard of Julia. Kurtz, wait, are you writing the logic in the place where you define the endpoints? So this is basically the logic for the handler. And my goal will be to abstract this logic into the core project. But I haven't settled on a good abstraction layer. But in a future state, we'll basically use something like a command pattern where all of this endpoint does is it just dispatches a command to a handler, and then there'll be command handlers here in my core project that actually contain all the business logic, but I haven't decided on all the right abstractions yet, so I have some refactoring to do. Sometimes for me it's a lot of times it's easier to like do the concrete implementation and then refactor to a more generalized abstraction than to try to think high level abstraction into a concrete implementation. So that's why this endpoint is very messy and very large, or this endpoint handler logic is kind of messy. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly what you said. Basically, a service layer. Yep, exactly. That'll be my end goal at the end of the day. Yeah, that'll be where I hope to end up. Let's see, and if there's any DB transaction, service layer handles that. Yeah, so the service layer will just delegate to some sort of data access abstraction, probably some sort of repository pattern. But yeah, that service layer, that business logic layer should really be agnostic of like the application code that's calling it and the data access that's providing the information. It should just say, hey, I know how to coordinate these interfaces and these dependencies and enforce this business logic, but who calls me, what application calls me, I don't care. They just need to give me the right information and the right dependencies. And then on the data access side, have some sort of contract that says like I don't care what the underlying technology is. I just want to be able to know that there's a method that I can call to get a user or to get a account or whatever. So that's where I'm hoping to eventually work towards. But building this on Stream has left me in kind of a state of very messy code at the moment, and so I need to spend some time just reviewing everything I've written and starting to do a little bit of refactoring. Writing code on Stream has been deceptively difficult. Yeah, it's challenging. Kurt, so entity, repository, service controller, sort of more like more of like your classic clean architecture, where like you have more of like a hexagonal like layer, like an onion, or like where like you have that core project that sits in the middle where all the business logic lays, and then the implementations of that core logic lie in other projects. Do you regret writing code on Stream? No. I think it's fun. It's actually a lot of fun, and oftentimes I think I learn a lot from streaming. But it is challenging, like the focus, and going back and forth, and like trying to look at chat and also code, and like, yeah, that is challenging. I do get distracted quite easily, but I'm okay with that because I personally, when I stream, I try to prioritize the chat over the code myself. That I know not everyone does that, but that's what I try to do, because I kind of feel like if I'm not here for the engagement, like, well, I'm not doing anything crazy from a code perspective. There's nothing that I'm doing that is cool or novel, right? So it's not like there's a ton of like, oh, watch me build this crazy new piece of technology. So if I wasn't here to engage with chat, then I'd probably, what is the point of streaming to begin with? It's cool and novel to me.
Kelsey says he is okay with it because he had to get used to having an unmediated ADHD wife for years.
Need to put a Subway Surfers vid somewhere to code. I'm so lost. That's fine. Dang it, wrong word. No, I thought. Oh, did you mean medicated? Well, unmediated works too. Either word works fine. No, this is C#. This is C#. SDX quiz. It's C#. It's the language. All right. That's the end for me. I'm done. I'm going to go upstairs and make some bacon and drink some coffee and figure out what's going on in the Middle East and try to catch up on the news. Maybe shave too. I need to shave. All right. Let's see. Normal wrap up. If you're new here and you want to come back and hang out in the future.
Kelsey says gross.
Yeah, crazy over there. Yeah, for sure. See you, dude. See you, Kurt. If you want to come back and hang out in the future, the best place to find us is live on Twitch. Oh, Pablo, you're still here. See, Pablo, have a good day, man. It was really good talking to you. Glad we got to catch up. I hope you get some sleep this afternoon. Gross to shave or bacon? Probably the shaving. Usually that's how I find out I need to shave, because I try to kiss my wife and she's like, hey, your face is really rough. And then if you want to hang out outside the stream, the best place to find us is Discord. I have a Discord. It's discord.stephenfreeborn.com. There's no pressure to join it. It's not a big, you don't have to, but like if you wanted to talk to any people in the chat or me outside of stream, that's the best place whenever we're not live. Oh, Fly Fisher, you're still here. Nice to see you, man. I'm glad you're doing well. It's good to see you. Thank you for continuing to be a member. It's very kind of you. Estefanos, have a good one. Thanks for being a member. Bob, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yeah, glad you're here today, Bob. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys who come back regularly. It's very kind of you. Kelsey, all the pressure. You must join. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a great Saturday. If it's already Sunday for you, have a great Sunday. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully, or somewhere else on the YouTubes. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, chat. Bye. See you guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a good day.